Hey everybody, welcome on in. Hope you're doing fantastic out there. Thanks for finding the channel. If you guys could subscribe, that would be great. If not, thanks for stopping by. Miami Dolphins getting ready for the Dallas Cowboys. I gotta tell you, man, these Tua press conferences every single week, they have become must-see. I guess I can't say TV. I guess must-see viewing wherever your platform may be, or listening. Maybe you're listening to it. I won't lie. Actually, sometimes I will just throw on I'm such a psycho. Sometimes I'll just throw a press conference on my Bluetooth in my car because let's just listen to what had to be said. And Tua today, he was in a chipper mood, opposite of last week. Last week he was a huge downer, and you know that he wears accountability, and he really takes losses and poor things that he does hard. But today, very chipper, in a great mood. You'll do that when you go and basically put up 30 points, you shut out the Jets, and you get ready for your biggest game of the season. And I cannot stress this enough. Enjoy this. This is going to be a lot of fun, I think. The Dolphins have a chance to control their own destiny, become the 1 seed, have 3 really fun matchups coming up with the Dallas Cowboys, who have one of the most obnoxious fan bases in all of sports. The Baltimore Ravens, who the Dolphins have a checkered past with. You know, they've smoked the Dolphins in some bad, painful playoff losses and primetime losses. You've had some good success against them. You had maybe one of the most exciting games ever against them last year. Tua's had good success against Lamar Jackson. Remember, Lamar Jackson was supposed to be the homecoming king when he came here. Was it a Thursday night game? I think it was. And Tua comes off the bench. He gets himself a win. So that's going to be a really fun matchup. And then, of course, Buffalo Bills. You couldn't hate their guts anymore. You know, like that's going to be a tremendous game. Even if playoff stakes aren't even on the line, it's going to be a fun game. But Tua had some interesting things to say today about himself. And he was being asked about the idea that did it feel good to kind of squash the narrative that you need Tyreek Hill to go out there and have a great performance? And, you know, he had talked early in the press conference about Jalen Waddle being a wide receiver 1 and sacrificing and, you know, having to kind of take a back seat to Tyreek Hill and then, you know, getting to remind everybody how damn good he is. But Tua, let it be known something interesting. And not that I'm surprised that I'm hearing this, because I think if you heard him this summer, you know, kind of flex up and you know, hit back at Ryan Clark or whatever the dumb criticisms were. He was doing this a little bit in the year before where he goes, not bad for a guy who can't throw the deep ball, huh? So I like Tua with a little bit of zest to him. So he was asked about this, and very fascinating, detailed answer from QB1.
Like I keep saying, everyone wants to make this about me, about Tyreek. Like, please keep pushing it to Tyreek. Like, make it about Tyreek. I understand that my platform and who I am in this league as a quarterback makes me, if you want, polarizing, whether I'm the best, whether I'm the worst. Like, I could care less. Like, I don't listen to it. This is my bearer of bad news, and Nolan. I hate to say it. I hate to say that, but that's my bearer of bad news. If anyone has something if anyone has something bad to say about me, but at the end of the day, like I really don't care. But if she does share it with me, I mean, I keep receipts. We all have a way of how we do things, but like all the narratives about it, I am only good with Tyreek, and that you're right. That is the only time I'm at my best. You're right. I'm only good when Jalen's in. I could care less about it. Like, sure, if Jalen and those guys aren't out, like I'm only as good as Raheem Mostert allows me to be. Like that's what the narrative needs to be, and we're able to win games and we're able to go where we want to go as a team. I am the worst football player if that's what you want. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't. So whatever it is, whatever you need on your show, like take clips out of what I just said. Do what you need to do. Like that. I'm just here to do my job, and my job is to help our guys win games.
Explain to me why this guy would ever be polarizing, 1, and 2, he's the best. I love this quarterback, man. I just love how he goes about explaining himself and his real, I don't know what it was. I mean, I know what it was. It was, the Flores and the environment over there and the team trying to get rid of him and all that stuff. But I don't know what the light bulb off when it went from aw shucks to bleep all y'all or what you think. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just here to do my job, do my best. I'm here for my teammates. The maturity that you're getting there from Tua is really something to behold. It is an impressive thing from this young man who does have immense pressure on him and does have a lot of people scrutinizing him. I don't really understand why he is polarizing and why people do find the need to either say it's one or the other, that he's either the best or that he sucks and that we can't evaluate him like normal players. But he is a star and he matters and he is very popular. We was talking about his popularity today. Somebody asked him about leading the league in Pro Bowl votes. Like, this guy is a very loved player, but he's also a player that a lot of people think, they got to take an extreme side on. Is he a system quarterback? Had this with Cam Newton, right? He's among the system quarterbacks. You got a couple of system quarterbacks showing off this week, squaring off this weekend in Dak versus Tua. Hell, Micah Parsons. I don't know if Tua has that receipt, but Micah Parsons was out here earlier in the year and talking about, I could be Tyreek Hill's quarterback. Anybody could be Tyreek Hill's quarterback. Anybody could do what Tua is doing. And yet, I guess to the point of Marcel's question there, and did it feel good? I'm sure it did feel good on some levels, because how does it not? I do genuinely believe Tua doesn't care as much about those individual accolades. I think they're nice. But I do think he's got some Jimmy Butler to him, where it's like, you guys didn't think I was good. Jimmy Butler, one of the things I find fascinating about him is Jimmy Butler doesn't like to doesn't like to buy into a lot of the media, because the media didn't think he was good. The media thought that, this guy, first of all, they still treat him like he's a fringe top 20 player. Nobody thought that he was going to be this type of good anyway. And so why is he going to give any of that stuff credence? He genuinely doesn't care about those accolades and things like that. He cares about championships. And I do think that there's a little bit of that with Tua, in that, why should I care about being voted MVP or any of these things by the media that already hosed me down, chewed me up, spit me out, and said I suck? Why should I care about their accolades and their praise now? I don't care. And I just think that was a really cool thing to hear. I think that this guy has his head on right. He has gotten the turnovers basically under control. And so you look towards this stretch run, and this is going to be a huge run for him. And I don't think the MVP thing, just for a record, I don't think it is done. He's got to do some chasing, don't get me wrong, but this stuff is fragile. Like, Dak Prescott was probably the runaway winner up until last week, and now it's Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy's in the catbird seat right now, I would give you. But if Tua goes out there and he beats, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, who are two favorites in the race, and Josh Allen, if he beats those three guys and is a big reason for he could definitely get back in the race. If the Miami Dolphins end up as the 1 seed in the AFC, he's the quarterback for that. He's leading the league in passing. He won a game without Tyreek. He did what you guys asked. Can this guy do it without Tyreek? Well, he just did. He just did it. I don't care if it was against the Jets. He went out there and he did what you asked. Could he go do it without Tyreek Hill? You guys said, and there was, I think, fair criticism was that the offense getting too Tyreek-centric. They go out there against Tennessee. They blow it. They clearly don't look the same. But I will say, Mike McDaniel, this has definitely been a thing noticed about him. His in-week preparation is tremendous with getting players and backups ready for the role. And I don't know if this is true for every coach. This is just something to notice. Then having to adjust on the fly, and I'm talking about major pieces. I'm sure they can plug and play some certain guys, but it's just it definitely feels like if a guy has to step in on the offensive line, it's going to be a much bigger struggle than should that guy get a week of preparation. That's probably, I guess, true for everybody. Maybe I'm overthinking it there, but I think that for them to eradicate that Tyreek narrative in a week's time against a good Jets secondary, against a good Jets defense, guys with all pro, all whatever accolades. Knowing that they got a bum ass offense for sure, but their defense has some talent on it. And you know, they were even talking about that secondary, like, oh, those cornerbacks, they're just as good as the Dolphins cornerbacks. I mean, watching that Jalen Waddle touchdown by DJ Reed and 9 slow motion angles on Hard Knocks. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. So I just think that it is great to hear Tua in this zone again. I love this much more. But yeah, he is definitely his MVP candidacy is still in the. I mean, I would say honestly, if you want some value on Tua and you still think he can go and get on a run ski, I would bet on Tua. Like if you want to just throw a little action on it, because his value is probably as high. Because if he goes and beats the Cowboys this week and beats Dak Prescott, those odds are going to go down. If he beats Lamar Jackson, those odds are going to go down. But probably as high as they'll get. I mean, it's it'd be an interesting thing if he does sweep these next 3 games, gets the Dolphins the 1 seed. He'll absolutely be back in those talks for sure. But it is cool to say he doesn't really give a rat's ass about it